Hey guys, what's up? MurderofBirds here. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm sitting down right now to record this because we just got some breaking news and information, very major, very important news and information regarding the schedule flow for Rwby Volume 8 that is going to be going into effect in the next couple of weeks. And this is imperative that as many people in the fandom know about this as soon as possible, whether you are a first member, whether you are a non-first member, just so there is not some, there's not a ton of confusion going on in the community as to, where episodes are, when episodes are coming out. This is somewhat unprecedented on this scale. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but given the fact that we are in 2020, it's important that we're all up to date. You guys have likely seen the title. We're going to be going over the information. Rooster Teeth has released a post on the official Rwby Twitter account that we're going to be checking out, as well as a journal post on the Rooster Teeth website for more context. But before I get into that, I want you guys to please spread the information, spread this video to as many people, as many fandoms that you know that indulge in the Rwby series, so more people can know about this before it goes into effect and everyone is kind of out of the loop. I'm talking Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, Tumblr, Pigeon Post, email. Do whatever you got to do to let as many people know about this, because this is kind of unprecedented, and given the fact that 2020 hasn't been the best year and we've seen this from a bunch of other industries, it's safe to say that that this change is going into effect for the mental well-being and overall productivity of the team. We don't want anyone being overworked or you know what I mean? Crunch isn't something that we want to see in the industry at this point. So getting into this first and foremost, like I said, we're going to go into the additional information. Rwby Volume 8 is going to be seeing its first extended mid-season break following Rwby Volume 8 Chapter 7, which will be going live on the Rooster Teeth website for first members on December 19th. And following that episode, there will be a 6-week break where the show will reconvene on February 6th with the 100th episode debuting, the first episode of the volume in 2021. Now, I know that that's going to seem like a big shock to some people. I know there's a lot of people that have been eagerly looking forward to Rwby. At this point, it basically means we have Rwby for the next 2 weeks, this week and next week, and then the following week it goes into effect right before the holiday season. And, it's kind of a bummer. It definitely blindsided me, but at the end of the day, I'm thinking of this more so from the perspective of, look at the world right now. 2020 is just a shit year. 2020 is an awful year, right? And we're seeing this kind of take part in a grander scale across the industry, across all entertainment industries. Movies are being canceled, TV shows are being canceled, video games are being canceled, and in this case, web series are no exception. And the Rwby has been working super hard. Like, they finished writing the show super early, they started animating super early. They're all working from home as of March of this year, when COVID kind of hit and self-quarantining became a mandatory thing for people to continue to be able to work from home. And I feel like that's the perspective you have to go into this, in giving that level of understanding. These are still people at the end of the day. These are still people that have their own lives. Obviously, they need to worry about their mental health and just the transitional factor of no longer working in a workspace, but working from home and trying to be productive and keep the workflow going and stuff like that. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be upset about, like, oh, what the hell? How can they do this? It's Rooster Teeth. They're a big company. They should still be giving, they should still be able to produce this content. This is, like I said, unprecedented. Like, it's a better thing that we got Rwby and it's only going to be off for 6 weeks versus like not getting it at all, or it being delayed until an undetermined amount of time because of COVID. So I just want to lay the foundation there. We're going to check out the Twitter post as well as the journal entry, just in case you guys haven't seen it yet, so everyone's up on the up and up and understanding of the situation. They have full context and everything, but that is primarily the gist of it, and we're going to get into that right now. So as you guys can see, this information broke about an hour ago. I'm now having the time to sit down and record this to get this out, like I said, as soon as possible. It's Friday, December 4th, the day before episode 5 comes out, so at this point we are 2 weeks out from this information being released. And I will let people know, like, during the live stream discussions, and a reminder before episode 6 comes out, just to get everyone informed. I already let my Discord server know. I've retweeted this and quote tweeted this, and as a whole, 312 retweets, 294 quote tweets, and 1.4k likes, which again, millions of people watch Rwby, so I feel like this needs to reach as many people as possible. So again, please share this information, retweet this if you guys use Twitter, share it in Discord servers, share this video with a lot of people in the community as well, and let's check this out. So the official Rwby Twitter states, we have a Rwby Volume 8 update. Following the release of Chapter 7 on December 19th, again for Rooster Teeth First members, we will be going on a mid-season break, resuming with Chapter 8 on February 6, 2021, and then here they leave read more here, which Lori Yates left a journal post on the Rooster Teeth website, so we're going to transition and look at that as well. And before anything, for people who are non-first members, this does not mean that first members are going to get Chapter 7 and then non-first members aren't going to get it. It's just saying at the earliest convenience, so people will still be getting Chapter 7 the following week for non-first members, but then after that, we're not going to be getting Chapter 8 until 2021. Pulling up the calendar, we're on the 4th, so tomorrow's the 5th when we get the 5th episode, ironic, and then Chapter 6 will be on the 12th, Chapter 7 will be on the 19th, and then we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I apologize, we're going to have 7 weeks before the next chapter goes up, which is going to be on February 6th, 2020 for first members, and then of course a week later, non-first members will be getting that as well. But going into this a little bit deeper, Lori Yates wrote a pretty significant journal entry here to kind of give people context of why this decision was made, and she says, "Hello everyone. I've been fortunate to get to know a lot of you this year, but for those who I've yet met, my name is Lori Yates, and I am the lead producer for Rwby Volume 8 and 9. As we know, they're already working on Rwby Volume 9 with writing. I'd like to share an update in our programming schedule for the remainder of the year. Every year, Rwby sees a mid-season break." Now, this is actually true, and this kind of came to fruition when Rwby shifted from being a summer time slot show during Volumes 1 and 2 to a winter and fall time slot show during Volume 3, where we would get a World of Remnant segment, you know, in place of like a holiday break during the week between Christmas and New Year's. And I actually think they also like posted like a Rwby Chibi holiday break episode during one of those weeks as well. So we've always gotten a mid-season break. That is actually true. But this time, it will be a bit longer than you're used to, 7 weeks. In order to continue making the show as good as we know it can be, and try to support our teams, following the release of Volume 8, Chapter 7 on December 19th, we will be going on a mid-season break, resuming with Chapter 8 on February 6, 2021. 7 weeks is a long time. I understand that a lot of people probably are going to have be in a different position by that point, and, you know, granted, if we continued on this stride, the show would be done around that time. But these things happen. Ultimately, it really just depends on the situation for the viewers, you know, on the viewer end of things. You know, this is going to be a big transition because we've never really taken a break that long, pulled ourselves back, and now we have to re-engage on February 6th and see how things gel. I think the flow is really going to matter when it comes to how the volume is going to leave off for that break and how it's going to pick back up with that. As you may know, we've been working remotely since March. This was our first foray into a fully remote workflow. We've long been accustomed to working on the show together in person. Without precedent, the team has had to work quickly to adapt to almost every stage of the pipeline, and we've been doing an incredible job. I can't speak highly enough to how adeptly Rwby has risen to the challenge we faced this year and how they've continued to create a truly fantastic show. Volume 8 looks and sounds as good as ever, and I'm so thankful for the hard work, talent, and dedication that has gone into making that possible. A reality of working from home, though, has been a general slowdown in shot production. Each step takes just that much longer to complete, and it slowly adds up over time. We are committed to maintaining a work-life balance as a studio, a need that feels all the more significant in the current year. Like I said, COVID, 2020, social distancing, all that stuff. This mid-season air break ensures Rwby has the time needed to maintain that balance. The team will continue working on the show throughout, but it will allow us a comfortable finish for the back half of the volume. Thank you for everything you've done to support Rwby. There wouldn't be a Rwby without the fandom, and we appreciate you all so very much. Sincerely, Laura. So, like I said, this is cut and dry, very much so a 2020 quarantine isolated incident, no pun intended there. But I mean, you can't deny the fact of how much of an impact COVID has had. It's had an impact on item shortages, like in the industry, especially in the gaming industry with consoles and games and stuff like that. Like I said, a lot of movies, video games, TV shows have been delayed as a result of this shift in workflow because of COVID-19, and it's ultimately just kind of having a ripple effect. Now, I understand there's going to be the argument of, well, Rooster Teeth should have had the foresight. How are you going to drop this on us 2 weeks beforehand? And I get that, you know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, I think it's much more upfront and much more transparent that they let us know, hey, we're not going to have Rwby crunch. Hey, we're not going to try to push ourselves beyond our limits and kind of falter all over the place trying to, you know, pick ourselves up and carry this volume into 2021. You know, it's bittersweet. It's gonna suck for some people. It's going to be a tough wait, you know what I mean, going into the new year without Rwby, and, you know, just knowing that it's going to return and come back, and maybe it'll come back even stronger in the second half, depending on how the first half leaves off. But I think this is, I appreciate the fact that they're letting us know up front. They're thinking about their animators, they're thinking about their modelers, they're thinking about people doing mocap, and, you know, like, giving that extra time pulls a lot of stress off of the people to know that they have to meet a deadline, and that with every week that they put in work, more and more of that time is being added on, and working up towards where they're not going to have as much time. We know that the show is already done with writing and voice acting. This is probably my majority from the sound and animation team, and I'm completely fine with that. Obviously, this is going to be a shift in terms of content creation on YouTube, not just for myself, but for other content creators, because whenever Rwby comes out, you know, everyone's looking forward to reactions, reviews, live stream discussions, shit posts, and the like. So there is going to be a bit of a gap. There is a couple of silver linings in my case, because, you know, focusing on Rwby has been my primary focus. So with Rwby going on break for, you know, upwards of 6 weeks, that kind of frees up a bit of time for me to focus on other things, especially finishing off the Chorus trilogy for Red vs. Blue, which is actually going to be uninterrupted without Rwby there for those 6 weeks. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait a couple weeks longer because they just confirmed that Persona 5 Strikers is coming out February 23rd, but Rwby's coming back February 6th, so I'm probably not gonna be able to play that until like late March, early April, which is fine, whatever. But yeah, I think for the most part, obviously there's gonna be that big gap. I'm hoping what I'll probably do, this will probably be like a Twitch thing, but I think what I will do, which would be kind of fun, is maybe like the weekend before the episode returns with Chapter 8, I will do a mid-season watch-along where we all watch the first 7 episodes together in a live stream. I think that would be really fun and exciting, and just get people really hyped and excited to return to the volume. Again, I do think this is an isolated incident for COVID. I know that this is going to bum a lot of people out, and this is going to be kind of like a break in our traditional, you know, routine every year of like content and getting hyped and excited and looking forward to Rwby. We're used to that 1 week break for the holiday season, but maybe this is a good thing for everybody. You know what I mean? Maybe this will be a good thing for people who are also watching the show and have a bunch of other things going on. And we'll give them some time to kind of recalibrate going into the new year. But that's kind of everything. I just wanted to let you guys, like I said, let you guys know about the development going on with that. So again, Rwby Volume 8 will be seeing a break in a couple of weeks following Chapter 7 on December 19th. And it will be reconvening in 2021 on February 6th with Chapter 8. So like I said, please spread this to as many people as you can across all the platforms that you use or know people that watch Rwby, or friends or family or whatever, just so people aren't blindsided and confused by this for the most part. As per usual, I'm still going to be coming out with my last couple of reactions and live stream discussions for the episodes that will be closing out for 2021, so you guys can still continue to look forward to that. But other than that, we're obviously going to have to hold tight, maybe, you know, preoccupy ourselves with other shows or other anime or other video games that are going to be coming out, or games that, like, that people have backlogs on. Like, ever since Rwby came out, I haven't even opened my PS5 yet, so that would be pretty exciting for me to focus on in that 6 weeks or so break. And then obviously I still appreciate the support of you guys who are going to still continue to watch my videos, still continue to support on Patreon in the time being, you know, for that extra month or so. But that's everything. That is the breaking news and information regarding Rwby. I really hope you guys are able to kind of identify. I hope this isn't too much of a disappointment or a letdown or a shock, and I hope it just comes more so from a place of understanding for people, to just understand that they're thinking about their workers, they're thinking about the crewbie, and obviously we don't want a repeat of past events. We want, you know, we don't want crunch to be a thing. We don't want people to be overworked and fatigued out by the time the show is done and be jaded and resentful of everything. So I think this was the best course of action. 2020 is completely understanding of the situation, And we're just gonna have to sit tight and wait, and just know that Rwby is gonna return for the second half. Episode 100 is gonna premiere in 2021, which is great. The first episode of the volume of the first episode of the year at that. So yeah, that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, spread this to as many people in the community as possible. And I'm gonna still be trucking along for these last couple of weeks, so I hope you guys continue to enjoy the content, the reactions, the live streams, everything else in between. But that's all I got. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.